Aisle. And then you guys can start lighting up to the right. Can we all stand for the Star-Spangled Banner and the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Okay, like I keep saying throughout this whole event, we cannot do this work by ourselves. Once these young people, while they're in program, they receive a stipend. Many get connected to other job opportunities. And while you are, when you complete the certification in construction, you get placed inside in community on real job sites. If you get an opportunity, stop by Geneva and Sharon. There's 6 units of affordable housing that the construction training program along with Habitat for Humanity have just built. And they had a key ceremony early June. They're now the new graduates. These graduates here will be starting on a new site at 9 Amber Drive in Diamond Heights for another 9 units of affordable housing. And then once they complete 500 hours there in an internship component for completing their pre-apprenticeship training, they might get an opportunity to work as apprentice in a number of the labor locals. And I want to thank Ms. Jessica Fontenot for connecting us. She's our business relations coordinator manager who connects us to many of the local unions and trades in the town. And she has invited Miss Stacy Ned, who is also a daughter of San Francisco, born and raised here, and is a foreman in the electrician union. So we'd like to have Miss Stacy come up here and share a little bit about what she is, why you have Thank you.
Hello, thank you for having me. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Tracy. And I've spoken to the Success Center on 2 occasions, I believe. And Jessica has always asked me to speak. I appreciate her always recognizing me. So my name is Stacy Ned. I am a resident of San Francisco, born and raised. I'm a graduate of Philip Burton Academic High School. Where everybody is somebody. So I just want to say to the graduating class, let me speak from experience, because I know that sometimes I can say some things about myself that might resonate with you all. And I just want to say that this is somewhere that I never thought I would be. I always say that I never chose construction, the trades chose me because of the fact of my criminal background. I could not find work in other areas. Construction was the only field that I could get into where they did not question my misdemeanors and my felonies. So with that being said, don't take this as you're lucky or you're in a place where you shouldn't be. I believe all those things happened to you and got you here that needed to happen for you to get here. So I always look at it as I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I want you to know that. You guys are where you're supposed to be. So with that being said, you should be sponges and soak up all the knowledge that you can. So when I first got into the apprenticeship, that was something that they always said. Just be a sponge, learn as much as you can. This is the this was the always learning industry. So when you get into the trades, you never stop learning. You have to continue your education, taking courses because the industry does change. So keep your knowledge fresh, stay on top of everything. Keep your health in order. You must stay healthy to continue your career in the trades. And keep your head on the swivel when you're out on the job sites. It is dangerous, so you just gotta stay safe at all times. The last time I spoke at the Career Center, or Success Center, I was in the process of interviewing with the Golden Gate Bridge, and I can say now that I am an employee of the Golden Gate Bridge. So originally when I started in the trades, I got in the trades in 1999. I did not know what trade I specifically wanted to do. All I know is I wanted to learn how to build a house. So I chose carpentry because Jesus was a carpenter. And my first job was at the San Francisco airport. And I got pulled out of class. I was at City College. City College was offering free construction courses for women of color and people in the Bayview neighborhood. And I was actually scared to leave the classroom because I didn't even know how to read a tape measure. But my teacher said, you're gonna learn more in the field than I could teach you in this classroom. And I left the classroom and I never went back. When I went back, I was actually a part of the apprenticeship to be, well, not an electrician, but I was in the electrician's union. They have 2 apprenticeships. I went through both of them. So the first apprenticeship I went through was the sound and communications. It's the low voltage side to be an electrician. It's a little less dangerous, but it's less pay and less benefits. So I did that 6 years, and then I transferred my classification to be an inside wireman. So the first apprenticeship was 3 years, and then the second apprenticeship was 5 years. So I did 8 years of an apprenticeship, and with that being said, I always think about my dad when I say this because he told me that I went to school for 8 years and I'm not a doctor. But my response to him was, I'm not a doctor, but I'm not in debt, and I still make 6 figures. Yeah. So don't let anybody put you down because you're in the construction trade. Like I said, I went to Fuller Burton, and it's a academic curricular high school. They didn't have sports. It was college preparatory, so I had advanced placement classes. And my cousin, we're the same age, and we had the same classes, and she felt that I wasted my education when I got into construction. She didn't like the fact that I was getting dirty every day, and she kind of looked down on me. Until she came to a Women in Trades conference, and I was one of the speakers on the panel. And she was just amazed at everything that I said. And she didn't realize that I was already making 6 figures. Now she has a master's and all this stuff, but she went through all the debt to attain those things, and years after I was already making 6 figures. So don't let anybody look down on you because you're in the construction trade. It's a good career, it's it's good benefits, and it's good money, okay? So with that being said, you guys, I want you to go out there and stand your ground and be strong. You're gonna grow mentally, you're gonna grow physically, and emotionally. You're gonna be out there getting into your work, and don't let nobody discourage you. You're gonna become mechanically inclined. When I got into the trades, I asked my brother to do something on my car, and he looked at me and said, "You got tools now, you figure it out." And guess what? I figured it out. So with that being said, you're gonna learn how to do things you never thought you would learn how to do. And own it. You know, no one can take this from you. When COVID hit again, you don't have to be out of work. You can do side jobs. You can, you know, put yourself out there online and say, hey, I could put stuff together for people at your house. You know, you get the IKEA furniture that don't come with instructions. People don't know how to put that stuff together. That's where you come in at. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you can stay working when there is no work.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that. Don't stop just because, you know, work is slow and you're at the hall and you're waiting to go to your next job. Don't stop there. You can do small jobs around the neighborhood. For your loved ones, you know, sometimes they don't want to pay, but you get the money up front. But yes, so just to let you know, you guys are in the right place. I'm happy, and you guys look happy. Are you guys happy?
Yeah.
You guys excited to get out there? Yes. Congratulations. Enjoy your career.
Another big round of applause.
All right. Wonder Woman, yes. And don't stop. Like she said, I really appreciated hearing that. You got skills. This field is recession proof. Somebody needs something fixed, something Stacy.
Yes.
Something fixed, something done. Recession proof. So, for the moment that y'all been waiting for, you ain't gotta listen to TT no more. No more Miss Susan nagging you. Joffrey pushing you through that test. Brian making you go through that first day CPR training. I know, I've been there. I know what you guys had to go through. But trust me, as Miss Stacy says, it's all worth it. No more Dawood and Dre and Spin, Miss Tracy hammering over your head. You've completed, it's done. But like I think Jason said earlier, this is only the beginning, not the end to your future, as Miss Stacy suggested. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite Miss Dawn McConnell and Aristotle to the stage to award this year's and to announce this year's class. All right, congratulations. This is one of my favorite celebrations of the Success Center and John Muir Charter School of the Year. I'm so proud of these young people. In spite of all that we have been through as a country, as a nation, as a city, as an organization, and organizations, as a school, these young people continue to persevere. So we're so proud of them. Thank you so much. Everyone, my name is Liz Jackson Simpson, and I'm the CEO of Success Centers. And Success Centers is a 501c3 that was started, nonprofit corporation that was started by Superior Court judges over nearly 40 years ago. We'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary in February of 2023. And they saw a need to provide alternative education and workforce development services, largely for young men who are returning to community from detention. Well, we have expanded over the decades to include much broader marginalized communities. We have 3 sites here in San Francisco. We are also situated in Oakland and San Mateo counties, and we still continue to provide services in juvenile detention facilities in San Francisco and San Mateo County. And that we're still extremely proud because we know and we have learned that our young people with the right supports and resources can do anything, as you can see will discover today. So we are very grateful to be in this house, in this space of the San Francisco Elks Lodge. They have been sponsors and friends of Success Centers for many, many years. I think this is our third graduation here over the years, and so we're really grateful to be here. So we'd like to, before we get started, where did Jason go? Where did you go, Jason? I wanted Jason to let us know where we are. Oh, here you go. Come on up. Take the mic, sir. So Jason Jackson is our sponsor here with the Elks Lodge, but he's also, as you can see, sheriff with the city and supports us there as well too, with referrals and other
Perfect. Let's get a big round of applause for the graduates here. I want to say that we're all really, really proud of you. This is a big deal and a huge accomplishment. And I understand today we have a mixture of high school diplomas, GEDs, and we also have two different construction program graduates. We have the youth build graduates, the construction graduates, and the green construction graduates. This is just the beginning. This is so significant. You have just got the golden key, and you have unlocked the future for yourselves, and it's just really amazing. And I want to say a few things. Is I have the opportunity to come here to represent two organizations, the first of which is being an Elks member. And as an Elks member, we're a very proud sponsor of Success Centers. We work with Liz and Success Center since 2015, doing the graduations for high school, for the nonprofits, the galas and everything else, and she does amazing work. And what inspires me as a volunteer to come here is that with her organization, the first year that I came, the second year, we had graduates that graduated the year before, they come back to give back. And that is so powerful. And I have no doubt, next year, you guys are going to be coming back to encourage the next set of graduates. It's just truly amazing. You know, as a member of the Sheriff's Department, we're also a proud sponsor of Success Centers. Sheriff Paul Miyamoto, he's the elected sheriff in the city, county, San Francisco. We're steadfast supporters of Success Centers, everything that you guys do. And it's just, you know, they're all about help and community and love, and it's just great. So I just want to say congratulations to you guys. Good luck, and this is just the beginning. There's another person that I think if he's not here yet, he will be. We also have another supporter that's coming in today. He's civilian aide to the Secretary of the United States Army, and he's also does all the ROTC stuff, so if anyone's ever interested in going into the military, we can get Liz offline and stuff like that. And also, don't forget about us. We're going to be recruiting too, so if anyone wants to become a member of the Sheriff's Department, come and holler. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we stay connected so we can stay protected. So we before we get started with all the festivities, I'd like to invite Mr. Elliot Beckelman to the stage. He is an emeritus board member. He's a former chair of Success Centers. We have a board of 11 members now that help us to raise money to put on events like this, to continue to fund our programs and services. He's also an attorney, so he provides us with good tutelage and support and advice, along with has helped us to design a number of very creative programs. Largely, we do training in not only in education, construction, but also in tech. We see a number of tech graduates there, cannabis, and the arts. And so Elliot has spearheaded, helped us to spearhead our cannabis program. So if you're interested in careers and businesses in cannabis, this is a gentleman that would be good to help us, along with Ms. Angela White, has helped us to spearhead that program and help people start their own businesses. So without further ado, Mr. Elliot Beckelman, Secretary of State.
Hello, I am Elliot Beckelman, and I'd like to thank Liz for everything. Liz and I actually are going through the same thing together, but separately. We're dealing with our hips. As we get older, something's got to give, so we're dealing with that. The program says that Adrienne Owens should be here if you miss her. I actually miss her a lot more than any of you do, because she's supposed to give the invocation. And I never gave an invocation before. I've talked over when people have died, and babies who were born, and people who got married. Different times people asked me to speak, but for an invocation, I didn't even know what it was, and it's appealing to a higher authority. Now, as an attorney, it's very difficult to appeal to a higher authority, but I know that a higher authority does exist. And for those of us that find respite and support in a higher authority, such as God, and I hope you've been given support by it. So my invocation is to just acknowledge the graduates who are here. I know how much hard work and time, particularly in a city that has a lot of demands upon you, and the families and friends that have supported you. That takes time and effort as well. And it's my pleasure to be part of Success Centers, which I have been for a number of years, and I'm very fortunate to be on the board of directors and to work with one of my heroes, Liz. So if there's an amen to be said for that, let's hear it.
Amen. Thank you, Elliot, for stepping up to the plate. Ms. Adrienne Owens is another former colleague of ours who has transitioned over to work with the city. And we're very grateful, but unfortunately she took ill today. So thank you, Elliot, for stepping in. Ms. Adrienne Snyder is our current standing board chair, and she wasn't able to make it today, so thank you for representing the board today. We could not do this work at all without the support of the Success Center staff. I get to stand here and tell the story and celebrate with all of you, but if the Success Center staff could please stand up. These are representatives from our career centers, our schools, our construction training program, your teachers, your supporters, our program administrators, our staff, and even our family members who come and support us. We cannot do this work alone. This is a labor of love, and we appreciate everybody for being here. So again, big round of applause for Success in the staff, and making this day happen and making the magic happen every day. So we thank you. We're grateful to you. I don't know. Jessica too. Okay. So, without further ado, like I said, we couldn't do this work without, I couldn't do this work without the support of my colleagues, and we definitely would not have a school without John Muir Charter School. So we want to thank Mr. Aristotle for his and making this happen for us, and Ms. Dawn McConnell, who's the Chief Operating Officer for John Muir Charter School. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Are we still in morning? Good afternoon, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you, Liz. I am such a proud partner to the Success Center because of you guys. It's really about the graduates on today is your day. And so thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me to share it with you. It's a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. And also I want to thank Aristotle, who is your teacher. He is a wonderful colleague to work with, and I know he's very proud of you guys as well. And so, yeah, thank you, Aristotle. Woo. So, this wasn't easy, right? Like, this was a lot of work. You guys came to the program every day that you could get there. You worked with the staff. You sacrifice things that you may have wanted to do with your, with your other life, with your family, with your children, with your, all the many, many things that require your attention, right? And so I just want to say, I really appreciate that you put those things aside, and sometimes at great cost, to be here and do this. So thank you for that as well. And you didn't do it by yourself. Probably somebody was in the background helping you out, encouraging you, whether it was somebody at Success Center or with our staff, with the teacher, for those of you that work with Aristotle, maybe somebody else, and I want you to just maybe send out a silent thank you to them if they're not here. Families, thank you for being here. Thank you for being those people, standing behind these young people. And can we give a round of applause for the families and the supporters? We absolutely know that you all as well were standing alongside these young people who we are celebrating today. And I know that can be a sacrifice on your part as well. So thank you again for providing the opportunity for these young folks. Learning is from mistakes. We all have things that we consider it a mistake, but the goal is to learn from that process and move on, right? So cut yourself loose of the mistakes. Hang on to what you've come here today to celebrate. That is not who you are. You are not defined by your mistakes. So be who you are today and the person you are tomorrow and every day moving forward. Because that's what you work for and that's what you deserve. So, and continue to learn. Congratulations on taking that initiative and being here. I know it's not easy. Adult life is complicated, right? There's a lot of things that come your way that you have to deal with on an everyday basis. So you got this far, what next? You have your heart, you have your mind that brought you here. You'll still have those things going forward. They're the strongest and probably most important piece of what you brought here today. You're going away with a piece of paper that says, oh, I graduated high school or I finished a construction program. Those are important things. But they don't do the thing that you need to do without your heart and your mind and all the other things supporting you up to this point. So you should congratulate yourself. My point is, this isn't an accident. It's not a miracle. It's a result of blood, sweat, and tears. And you should be celebrating that and realizing you have those tools to do what you want to do next. You're empowered. You brought yourself here. And we wish you the best moving forward. I know that you guys are an inspiration to all the other young people that might come through here. So try and hang on to that when you meet that young person here, like, oh man, I was in your shoes, here's what I did, and maybe that can help them. So passing it along, as John was saying earlier, is also a piece of this process. So I couldn't be more proud of you guys, and truly, from my heart, thank you. Thank you for doing this, and good luck, you got this. Our MC.
Thank you, Don. Everybody, big round of applause for Don. Those are all our credentials for our high school diplomas and GEDs and things like that. This next speaker that I want to invite to the stage is an amazing young man. He completed John Muir Charter School, received his high school diploma. He's also gone through the whole entire construction training program and received 8 certifications. Tracy beats me up because we won't buy a rig, but we're going to get that rig for the 9th certification. But has gone on and solidified a partnership that we now hold with an organization called Dignity Moves. About a year ago, I read an article in the paper about this organization called Dignity Moves that wanted to build tiny houses here in San Francisco. And for as long as we've been having a construction training program, we've been looking for a place to set our tiny houses. As part of our curriculum, Tracy Green in the construction training program with Dawood Abdul-Haq and Andre Larimore, Andre Gadsden, and Finn Kavanaugh, Carlos, have create tiny houses. So we learn construction by building tiny houses. And we've been campaigning out there trying to figure out where we could place the tiny houses in support of the homeless here in San Francisco. and they wouldn't allow us to build it. So then this organization, Dignity Moves, comes into town and they get to put up tiny houses. What the heck? Y'all can put up tiny houses in our town, especially being daughters and sons in San Francisco without considering success centers. So this young man was part of the team and led the team there to build the tiny houses now located at Overton Common. And without his leadership and tutelage, we're now looking to help build tiny houses in Alameda County and up in Logan Park. This gentleman has taken advantage of many of the resources at Success Centers and is a true model of leadership, commitment, steadfastness, persistence, patience, and just a dedication of his life to doing well in the construction industry. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mr. Gabriel Lienberger to the stage.
CEO of the Success Centers, Jenny Price, the COO of Success Center, Don McConnell, COO, John Muir Charter Schools, the board of the trustees, funders, Success Centers, staffs, and the class of 2022. I picked the Success Center program because they were the only program that said to me with positive energy. The last program I was at part of, they gave me hard times. Success Center gave me life opportunity. The construction program gave me confidence to go in the construction program. We learned how to take measurements and how to look at blueprints. My favorite part was learning how to operate every power tool. Shout out to Andre for teaching us how to the construction game. I would like to say thank you to Ms. T from Education Center for being like a second mom to me. You were the only one supporting me at that time. And I just want to say shout out to my classmate. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Lucina? Okay, come on, Miss Lucina, you gonna call the names? Very good. Very good. All right. Thank you. Come up. We're gonna take Joseph is gonna get your picture, and then you come over here and you get your headshot with Dimitri. Okay? When you come down, and then you can go back and take your seats. Okay? Sorry, I'm sorry, Miss Lucina.
Right. Well, the Early Morning Study Academy graduates, please stand up. Irma Yesenia Hernández Hueso.
There you go.
Let's go, Jesse! You did it!
James Enriquez. Who cannot make it today? Davonte Jones. and Jonathan Sarate.
Oh, David. All right, another round of applause for Okay, we want to invite up.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello. So I'm Tracy Green. This is Dawood Abdul-Haq and Jessica Fontenot, Business Relations Manager. So we have some other construction guests that we would like to bring up at this time, but we want to give their bio real quick. So Jessica Fontenot is going to introduce them to us. Thank you.
Hello everybody, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is a celebration. We need to get lit up in here. This is an accomplishment for our babies. They came a long way. It wasn't easy, huh? But y'all did that. So I just want to say, trust the process. Trust the process, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And so my job is to go out and get the job. My job is out there to go out there and strengthen the relationships between our community and the public and private agencies out there and our workforce partners and our unions. And so I'm happy to see our folks here representing our unions today, and we're going to have them come up. So we're going to start off with Michael Henry. Can you please come up, Mike? So Michael is a great pillar of the community who grew up in Bayview Hunters Point, started off in the streets, am I correct? Okay. Now superintendent maintenance for SFMTA, Patrol Division out of Stationary Engineer Loco 39. So without further ado, I'm gonna let him take the mic, because I could be on here all day, you know what I'm saying?
Hello, everybody. Michael Henry. Humble beginnings, just like maybe some of you graduates today. Started off my early teenage years going to Woodrow Wilson High School here in the city, and it wasn't a struggle. It was a struggle because I was in an environment that was surrounded by gangs and drugs, and I just happened to fall into that same system, which ended up catching me some felonies and all sorts of trouble. And most of the high school teachers I had, they basically told me I wasn't going to make it to C25. Well, I'm 48, so I guess I'll beat that. One of the worst things that happened to me, and probably one of the best things that happened to me at the same time, is I got incarcerated. It was a time where I needed a break away from the streets and everything else to kind of get my mind focused on what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. I was struggling, and when the judge gave me my sentence, I told him thank you. And I said, you'll never see me again, and I never went back. And when I was locked up, the jail had a lot of programming. So I took advantage of those opportunities. Similar to what you guys have here with the Success Center, there was programs that helped me get my mind right, get me on track to where I wanted to go. So when I was released from jail, I had a plan in place. And the first day I got home, I never forget it. I came home, I was home probably for about 2 hours, and my good old buddy old friends knew I was getting out, and they showed up to my house. And they had a whole bag full of drugs and said, hey man, go make you some money. And I told them, nope, ain't doing that. I got a whole nother plan, and I never looked back. I never fell back into them streets and went back, because I knew what it was going to be if I did. I wouldn't make it to 25, and I was young. I wanted something better for myself, just like you all here want something better for yourself. So I started down the career path of going to City College, taking some trade school classes in auto mechanics, because that's what I like to do, fix cars. So I did that for quite a few years, and I landed a job at Cragen Auto Parts. And at the time, I was only making probably like $8 an hour, and it was a very humbling experience to work there. but it gave me the tools necessary and the resources to catapult me into the next job, which was a job at a Toyota dealership in Daly City. So I took a job at Daly City. I became an apprentice as a mechanic. I did 4 years at Skyline College, and I was a journeyman. And I got a journeyman card that takes me anywhere in the world that says I can get top paid as a journeyman. So that was great. Once I spent my time at Toyota and really crafted my skill, I knew that wasn't it for me. I knew I was destined for something else. I had to do something else. I took a job with the city and county as a mechanic. While at the city and county Muni, working on the buses, I didn't see a lot of me being represented in the hiring process, in the supervisory ranks. There was no black supervisors, there was no Hispanic supervisors. It was pretty much all white across the management of the agency. And there wasn't a lot of opportunities for other people to get in. So I said, you know, I'm gonna put myself in a position where if I get a maintenance supervisor or superintendent position, I'm gonna make sure that people of color have those equal opportunities. So that's what I strive for. And over the course of the last 21 years that I've been with the agency, that's what I've tried to do, is make sure that folks that come across, regardless of their background, who may have a similar background to me, have an opportunity, who won't be judged by their background or by their community or whatever other issues they might have had before, but that they're looked at of who they are today. And that's why you guys are here, because you're a different person today than you probably were a few years ago. So very proud of you guys. One of the things that Jessica wanted me to talk about, and it may be important, it may not to you, but you know, when we look at my beginnings, my mom was on welfare. I mean, like I was embarrassed to go to the grocery store because I would have to go with food stamps at times. And I'm like, man, these food stamps I gotta buy stuff with, stand in line and get boxes of free food. It was pretty embarrassing, especially when you're a high school student. So we were poor. She put our school clothes on layaway. She'd be paying for them like 6 months in advance, just so we could have some new clothes for school time. Oftentimes she bought them bigger, hoping that we would grow into them, right? To save money. So we really struggled, and we didn't have the best living conditions, but through that struggle, it made me a more humble person. And I appreciated what she did by keeping us together and safe. So I went on to not only gain a job with the city, but I purchased my first home. And one of the few cousins in my generation to buy a home. And I learned how to buy houses in jail. There was a real estate agent that was locked up, and we spent a lot of time together. And he told me how easy it was to buy a house. And I bought a house, and then I bought another one. And I did 2 houses before I was 25 years old. By the time I was 30, I bought my 3rd house. By the time I was 33, I bought my 4th house. And so I live pretty comfortably today. Not only am I a superintendent for the city and county of San Francisco, but I'm also a race car driver. I enjoy fishing and being in the great outdoors. I like riding horses and just doing me. And that's what I like. So when you see me here today, you're like, who's this dude? He from the South or something? No, I'm from Baby Hunters Point. So you know what? I am who I am, and I'm proud of that. And you all should be proud of who you are today. Regardless of what people think about you, you're the best person for you. So you don't need to try to conform to some style or some mode. This is your mode. And that mode should always be beast mode. Getting your money, taking care of business. If you see a trade you want to get in, you get into that trade. If there's an opportunity that you want, you go for it. If somebody tells you no, you just use it as a stepping stone to do something different. And get it another way, because there's always more than one way to go through those doors. You can go to the left, to the back, to the side. There's plenty of ways for you guys to go. So I just want to encourage you that even from my humble beginnings, growing up poor in this city, getting myself into trouble, having felonies, some people took some chances on me. I got a lot of support along the way because I had a great support system like you guys got here with the Success Center, Liz and the rest of the staff. Take advantage of that. And those are your resources for life. You guys are lifelong partners now, and you will continue to come back from time to time and do speaking engagements and try to motivate other people. Because one of the toughest things to get right now in this industry, in my industry, which is transit, is young people involved. And I think it's people in my generation and a little older that's at fault for that. Because we got our positions, we got our jobs, and we didn't pass down and share any of that information. Maybe a few did, but the vast majority didn't. And you know, we've had kids, and we let those kids just sit in rooms and play video games and not really be parents. We were just like providers. So really, I'm giving back. The rest of us are giving back because we want you guys to be successful, because you guys will make decisions for me when I get older. So with that being said, enjoy your day and never stop being in beast mode. Always go after what you want.
Thank you so much. Beast mode, I like that. So as you all know, tradeswomen are on the rise. So I want to encourage my women right now to get into the trades. We got our women coming in from various locals coming in and speaking to you all. So today we have Megan Pryor and Holly Brown. I'm gonna call you up right now. Megan, as well as Stacy. I forgot to mention, Stacy, you forgot to mention, aren't you the first Black woman to work on the Golden Gate Bridge? That's a highlight. Breaking barriers. Breaking barriers. We're breaking barriers out here. And so Stacy, along with Meg, Ann, and Holly, they have come into our classrooms and have done some my voice is going out. They have actually did some engagement activities with our classes. Stacy came in and did a demonstration inside environment project with our kids, so they got some hands-on practical work with her. And so right now, I'm gonna have Megan come up and speak to you all, and Holly talk about the field trip. Do some of you remember the field trip? Yeah. To the training grounds? Yeah. All right.
So congratulations, everyone. I came from City Build. Similar to you guys, it was your pre-apprenticeship program in San Francisco. So I was also born and raised in Hunters Point, and I am now, okay. So I started out with the laborers for a little bit, and then I left, went to the operators. I went through their apprenticeship program, journeyed out, and was doing outreach like this, going to press conferences, attending PLA signings. And so my coordinator said, "This position opening up, do you want to come on staff?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I've been on staff for about 4 years now, and I never thought I'd be on staff. I'm in fact the first woman of color on staff in the history of my union as a apprenticeship coordinator. Apprenticeship, I used to work at DSW before I came through, and so I'm like, man, how am I ever going to afford, an apartment or a house or anything like that? So the moment I journeyed out, I said to myself, I'm going to stack. And as soon as I did that, I came on staff, and I literally bought my house before I turned 30. And so growing up in the hood, I never thought I'd ever own a home by myself. Like, that was just never gonna happen for me. So I encourage you all to get into the trades, make a good, honest living, save your money. A lot of my friends and family were like, "Oh, you're going into construction, you're not gonna make any money, you're gonna be laid off. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna pay your bills?" I've been paying my bills ever since I got into the trades, no problem. So don't let any outside influences discourage you from showing up on time, having a positive attitude, attending your union meetings. You will do fine, you will succeed, and you will go on to do bigger and better things. And so just recently, I know a lot of you guys know Nancy Pelosi, right? So I did a press conference with her, and then she asked me to be her special guest at the president's, the president's State of the Union address. So, and I was just like, wow, like she remembered me from literally a 5-minute encounter. So yeah, the sky's the limit for you guys. This is only the beginning. So take notes, make a 5-year plan on what you want to do with the rest of your life, and take care of it one day at a time. And you guys will be great. Yeah, the great support system here. So use them. When I was journeying out, I contacted people at City Build all the time. Hey, this is going on, and they'll always look forward to helping you, as will I. And Jessica will hit me up if you guys are ever interested in coming to the Operating Engineers Apprenticeship Program. She has my information. I do the interview process, so I decide who's going to come in and who needs a little bit more help on certain things. But, you know, we'll look out for our own. So congratulations and good luck moving forward.
Hi, my name's Holly. I work at Operating Engineers Training Center. I remember when you guys came out to our facility and you guys were blown away by our 1,500 acre training site, over 100 pieces of equipment, got to get up onto the equipment, see our rooms that they stand for free and our free cafeteria. So they were really amazed by what our trade has to offer. I always tell students, no one can take away your education and no one can take away your skills. Those are yours once you have them. So you guys should be very proud of your accomplishments here today, because there's a lot of people who don't get this far. So the only people that can stop you is you. And how you, no one said it's going to be easy, but as long as you, life is hard. There's just no getting around that. But as long as you know that next day is another day and just be positive and you'll get through whatever challenges come your way. I really hope that you guys look into the trades and operating engineers, the equipment does the work. So you just know how to run the equipment, how to move the material. It's a great trade. I've been in 24 years. It's changed my life. I too own my own house. Be able to raise a child as a single mother. And I wish you guys all the best.
And Carlos are the instructors, and they teach the participants two aspects. One, they get the NCCER, which is the National Center of Education and Research. This is a 9-module, and as Liz stated, you all heard her, that she's going to give me a rig. You all heard her. And then they will actually have all 9. But right now they only do 8, which is the safety. And with the safety, they do OSHA 10, and they also do OSHA 30. They do first aid CPR that Brian Ingram teaches, and he's also our paramedics. He works as an EMT. He's also getting ready to transition to other greatness. Then they also do construction math, which is led by Jackson Simpson Jr. I was trying to find him. Jackson, stand up, please. So Jackson takes care of the math. He also does all the testing for our NCCER certifications, as well as the GED. That's right, TT. So we use Joffrey really a lot. We cross-pollinate him a great deal. They also do. Huh? I didn't hear you. We didn't. That's not recorded. Okay. Then we also have hand tools, power tools, material handling, construction drawing, employability, as well as communication. Those are the 8 certifications that they complete. Upon completion, they have to pass this with a 70 or better. There is a test if they did not, and it is on computer, so if they did not pass the first time, they had to take it again. But this also gave us a more aspect in regards to our 18-week curriculum on what Stacy and Michael and them are looking for out in the field. We also have a partnership with Habitat for Humanity. So our youth field participants that are completing this program will transition to our Habitat site, which is on Amber Drive. There will also be 9 units that they will be completing, and residents will be moving in. Some of our graduates are not here today because Jessica has placed them at jobs. So that is a great opportunity for them. Really excited about that. So most of our green construction participants are not here because they are already in unions, And unfortunately, right, Stacy, they can't come here to do these little things no more, right? They need the money, right? So they're at work. So I'm so happy that Jessica came onto the division, and she made sure she has placed so far over 65% of our participants that come in here and do what they're supposed to do and follow the plan. They've been placed in union jobs. They're not going into union jobs making $18 an hour. They're going into union jobs because they followed the plan at a minimum of $21.95, which is excellent when you're just starting out. So I'm very excited to announce the young people that completed the program. First, we're going to have Gabriel Lienberger. You all heard his name earlier. He completed our high school diploma. He also completed our construction training program. Demario Johnson. Lynn McLaughlin. So I want to bring this young lady up, Miss Eris Jefferson. Miss Eris Jefferson graduated from the program, and Jessica placed her as an honor worker in the union. Very excited about that. Then I have, why are you guys looking like that? Why you and Jennifer looking like that? Kalia of mine. Come on up, Kalia. Two-part. Kalia actually is doing the construction training program as well as getting her high school diploma. So it's not just about construction. Our first priority is education. If you do not have an education, it's going to be a struggle to get into the construction industry. So she's in the process of finishing up her education with Miss Susan, Mr. Aristotle, Don, and Tiandra, but she has and is continuing to work on her construction aspect as well. And last and not final, but we have Jennifer Luna for the youth bill as well. Jennifer is also following the same footsteps as Kalia, and she will be finishing up her high school requirements with Tiandra, Susan, Ms. Dawn, Aristotle as well. So congratulations, thank you. Mr. Kwanzi Goodman. Construction track, and so he has been, Jessica has placed him in a couple of positions, but he now knows where he wants to go, so he will be working with Jessica in regards to being placed in the union, and I'm very excited and very happy with this path that this young man has been. I want to personally take this opportunity to thank Miss Susan. Miss Susan has done a phenomenal job in putting this graduation together. It is not very easy, but I want to personally say, Miss Susan, I am so grateful for you for taking this opportunity
and being a lead person for this graduation. So thank you so much. So with that being said, I will bring our leader, Liz Jackson Simpson, back up to the stage.
Okay, graduates, we need you to stand up one last time.
All right.
And Ms. Dawn is going to do the official changing of the task.
All right, this is a big moment. As graduates of the 2022 class of John Muir Charter School, I welcome you to move your tassel from the right to the left, signifying that you have completed your high school diploma. Congratulations.
We have some really nice refreshments that were made available by the San Francisco Elks Lodge number 3. And everybody, please come and take advantage of the photo booth, enjoy each other's company, and thank you for coming out to celebrate the class of 2022. Remember, as Success Center, there's no wrong doors. The light is always on. So this is, again, not the end, but the very beginning. Be sure to collect some business cards, offer some business cards to support these wonderful graduates. Congratulations, and we're proud of you.